Hello and welcome to the look ahead for Thursday, the 9th of November, with me, Fiona Cincotta, Senior Market Analyst at City Index. So, jumping straight in with earnings tomorrow, the big focus will be on AstraZeneca and Wizz Air here in Europe. And then also we have Chinese inflation data for October. Now, we're expecting inflation to fall by 0.1%. That's down from 0% previously. We'll also be getting PPI figures in as well. I think what we're expecting to see here is that the deflationary pressures in China aren't going away. And that's sort of really underscoring the fragility of the economic recovery that we're seeing there. Obviously, let's not forget that we've had PMI data from China last week, which was a little bit on the disappointing side as well. So there are some concerns that the weakness is creeping in again, and the supportive measures from authorities in Beijing haven't been sufficient. Now, a good chart to be looking at here will be the Australian dollar, US dollar. Now, the pair has been trending lower across the year. Just recently, in fact, this week, we saw the RBA interest rate decision where they actually did hike rates to 4.35%, but that came with a very dovish spin on it. Which with the suggestion that will be the last rate hike from the RBA. Obviously, Australia is their main trading partner is China, so we do see a lot of the weakness in China or strength when there is strength as well reflected in this pair. Now, the Aussie dollar, US dollar, it did rebound off the high there at 0.6520 at the start of the week. That's also the 100 SMA, as well as a level that's been important earlier in the autumn, and we've seen the price fall below support there at 0.6450, which was also the May low. It's currently testing the 50 SMA. That's going to be the next support level that it'll be looking to break below if we see the downtrend continuing. That's around the 0.64 level. And if we do see a break below that level, then I think that's going to bring in that 0.6270 level into play, which is the 2023 low. On the upside, if we do see the 50 SMA holds, then a rise back above that 0.6520 levels going to be needed in order to expose the 200 SMA. Just going back to the calendar, other things to be watching tomorrow will be US initial jobless claims. They're expected to come in just slightly higher than last week's at 218,000, up from 217,000 yesterday. In the previous week, we are seeing jobless claims creep higher. And interestingly as well, the other one to be watching is the continuing claims. They've been really sort of moving higher over the last few weeks. Now, obviously, this data comes after the weaker than expected US non-farm payrolls. So if we see further weakness in the labor market in the US in this jobless claims report, then that could fuel that narrative that the US jobs market is cooling and that the Federal Reserve could be looking to keep rates as they are and be done with hiking interest rates. Now, the one to be watching, the one that we've been keeping an eye on, the chart has been the NASDAQ. This has been really interesting. So we had that recovery off the 200 SMA at the end of April. Now we've seen that the NASDAQ has actually risen now for the 9th straight day, and it's reached levels that were last seen in September. And that's been on the back of this narrative that the Federal Reserve could be done with hiking interest rates. We had Federal Reserve Jerome Powell speak today. He didn't give us any further clues on the future path for interest rates. It's due to speak again tomorrow. And we also got a lot of Fed speakers out later this evening. So they're going to be interesting to watch. We've had mixed messages so far about whether the Fed is done with rate hikes. For example, Neil Kashkari said that he believed that there could be more the Fed had more work to be done in order to tame inflation. And that was a similar message that was repeated by Fed Governor Michelle Bowman. So more Fed speakers to be watching tonight ahead of Federal Reserve Chair Powell again tomorrow. But going back to this NASDAQ chart, we've seen that extended recovery from the 200 SMA. It's risen up across some key levels, including it's broken above recently that falling trend line resistance, and it is just testing the 15,300 level, which is the October high. Now, if we do see a break above here, next level to be watching will be 15,600, which is the September high. And that then paves the way for a move towards 16,000, the level that we saw in July, that high. If we see a failure to break above that 15,300, then we could see the price retest the falling trend line support. And that could open the door to the 50 SMA, which is down at the 15,100 level. If you have liked what you've seen today, then please give the video a like and do subscribe in order to receive more videos like this. Thanks very much. I'll catch you tomorrow.